Welcome back everyone to this topic on introductions to Python data types. Basic data types. So the data types that we are going to be discussing are the following in this table. We have the name of the data types on that left hand column and then there is the type. So what that means is just Python has an interval keyword for this name and you are not going to get the whole word integer. The whole word floating point instead of Python has a kind of shortened keyword so that you can see in the second column like int for integers, float for floating point, str for strings, etc. Then we have the description column and that's just going to be what the actual description of the data type is. Guys, this is the only the short introduction for each data types. We will be discussing in a lot more detail in upcoming videos. So let's quickly go through all these topics. So just firstly, we will start with the integers. So integers. Integers, these are just basic whole numbers such as 3, 5, 200, 100. And then we have floating point. Floating point numbers, these are numbers with decimal point such as 1.5, 3.9, 100.0. And notice here, even if you have 100.0, that is still count as a floating point number. That's no longer an integer because why? Because it has decimal point. Okay, that's why it's a floating point number. Okay, then we have strings. Strings are an ordered sequence of characters. What? Ordered sequence of characters. You can think of these as just kind of words. But you should also note that they can be numbers as well as characters inside strings. The most important thing that strings are an ordered sequence of characters inside double quotes and single quotes. So you can see here hello in double quotes, Dataverse in single quotes, and we have the digits of 2000 in inside double quotes. That makes a string. That's make a strings. That's no longer an integer because it is enclosed in double quotes. That's why. Now we come to the data structures, and data structures are a little more specialized in basic data types and data objects because they can actually hold data objects in some sort of sequence or in some sort of mappings. Here we can see list. Lists are an ordered sequence of objects, and we can say that list can be thought of the most general version of a sequence in Python. List can store multiple items in single variables. Like here we can see 10 is what? Integer. Hello is a string, and 200.3 is what? Floating point number. 100 is again integer. So these are all different data types that is stored in a single variable, and lists are created using square brackets, commas separated every elements, So the general form of list is what? We can create list using square brackets, and we can use elements like 10 is integer, hello in double quotes, that is a string, and we can write here is floating point number. So this is the most general version form of a list we can create using square brackets. And then we have dictionaries. Dictionaries are another data structures that can store other data types. Okay, dictionaries are another data structures that can store other data types, except in this case, instead of having an ordered sequence, they have what? They have unordered keys. They have unordered key value pairs. Okay. A Python dictionary consists of a key and then an associated value. Associated value. That value, this value, can be almost any Python objects. So our dictionary always has elements as key value pairs. Key value pairs. So here we can see dictionaries are constructed. Dictionary is constructed using curly braces. Curly braces. This is what? This is key. And then an associated value. Then name. Name is what? Key. And the associated value is Stella in double quotes. So this is what? This is the general form of dictionaries, and we can create the dictionary using curly braces. We will be discussing in a lot more detail how dictionaries works in upcoming videos. So next is tuples. In Python, tuples are very similar to list, but tuples are immutable. It means tuples, firstly, here you can see that this is ordered and immutable sequence of object. What does it mean? This means that it means we cannot change the elements in tuple. Okay. And the construction of a tuple use parentheses with elements separated by commas. Separated by commas. Okay. We can construct tuples using parentheses. So this is the form of tuples. We use parentheses and write any data type, like 10 is what? 10 is integer, hello is a string. Okay, and we use parentheses for constructing the tuples. Okay, so this is the form of tuple. Next is sets. Sets are an unordered collection of unique objects. We can construct them by using the set function. And remember one thing that's very important: sets cannot have duplicates, and sets are mutable, means we can change the elements of the tuples. Sorry, sets. We can change the elements of the sets, just like list. You can create a non-empty sets with curly braces by specifying elements separated by a comma. We can use simply here curly braces and every elements separated by simple commas. Okay, we can create them. Now then finally we will talk about booleans, which are just logical values indicating true or false. Values indicating true or false. And notice how we have capital T and capital F. That sort of syntax is necessary for Python. So these are all the basic data types. Okay. Integers, floating point, strings, list, dictionaries, tuples, sets, booleans. That's all. Thank you.